As she eventually passes on and time passes, we see that Eren was able to actually stave off war, not just for a measly 50 or so years, but due to his actions, we see Paradis evolve into a futuristic society some 10 to 20,000 years into the future. Eren was successful. He brought peace to the world for so very long, to the point that humanity evolved into something not even reminiscent of centuries past. But even still, war takes hold. People often forget what came before, and so the world once again destroys itself. Humanity is brought to the brink, and Paradis, finally after 20 years, falls to war and fear, like they always do.
You know, one of the things that I'm sure is going to be debated is whether Eren succeeded in his mission or not, right? Did he bring about the peace that he ultimately intended, right? And, you know, I think that is a great example here, you know, in this peace that comes about and ultimately humanity kind of repeating itself is something that we see in the Bible, and it's biblical. Now, before we get into that, did Eren succeed? I think that ultimately he did. I think that what he really wanted was to bring peace to a world where his friends existed, right? He wanted his friends to live in peace, and I think that ultimately from what we saw here, he achieved that. Mikasa was able to raise a family and was able to live in peace before, you know, generations and generations later, humanity repeats their same mistakes. This is something that we actually see in the Bible quite often, especially with the Jews, right? We see that God is constantly struggling with them, right? They sin, he forgives them, he instructs them, you know, 100 years later, they forget and make the same mistakes again and again and again, kind of showing us that humanity, right, is kind of doomed to repeat this cycle until God ultimately comes back, and the Bible tells us that he's going to put an end to evil. And I think that once that is done, that is when we're going to see this cycle that is portrayed here in this anime come to an end. I thought that overall it was a great ending for the story that they were trying to tell with Attack on Titan. But I don't know. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. What did you think of the last episode? Did the ending do justice to the anime? Did you like it more than the manga? Let me know in the comments. And as always, I just want to remind you that we must persevere.